Hello. Hello, this is Chandramohan. Could you able to hear me?
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Hello.
Now we can share, sir.
Okay.
I'm writing the comment. Sorry, writing the comment.
Hello. First of all, can you help me to how to share my PPT file?
Sir, there is a share screen option, sir.
Share, share screen. Yeah.
Sir.
There are three options. One is one participant can share at a time. That one I can prefer, no? And multiple participants can share simultaneously. No, one participant.
Only one participant, sir.
Okay.
Co-host.
Could you able to see maybe desktop or something?
No PPT, sir.
Okay, one. But the other, my computer is visible now. First page.
No, sir.
Oh, no, 1 minute. This PPT is not visible, no?
Not visible, sir.
Okay. Again, I am going to share screen. I have given to share the option. Or any advanced sharing option, one option is there. One participant can share at a time, multiple participants can share.
You choose only one.
Yeah, that it is coming who can share. One is only host, all participants. There are two options is there. It is if you are clicking only host, then you only can share, I think. If I put all participants, then there is a chance. Huh? So at present, you are the host, na? That ID, everything is created.
So you have given a co-host, sir.
Oh, I was given as a co-host, huh?
That's okay, sir. We have given a co-host for you.
Okay.
You can also share.
But,
Co-host.
only host only I am giving now. Huh? Or shall we try multiple participants something? Now, could you able to hear me?
Yeah, hearing, sir.
But this PPT is not shown, na?
Not visible, sir. No, not visible, sir.
Oh, then what maybe we can do? Shall we try this? Multiple participants can share simultaneously something?
So let's try, sir.
Okay. Is it coming?
No, sir. Only your background is visible, sir.
Which
Backside.
background? This computer screen is not visible, huh?
Not visible, sir.
Okay, only my video is visible. My photo is visible.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. But yeah, this is the only option is given here. No, actually, in the participation list, there is some option is there to pin pin video or something. Some option is there.
వేరే కనుక్కున్నామా ల్యాంకో ఉంది కదా కొండపల్లిలో
ల్యాంకో అసలు
అంటే కాదు మామూలుగా ఆన్లైన్ లో చేసినట్టు సంథింగ్ అంటే బీటెక్ లో సర్టిఫికేట్ ఇస్తానంట 800 ఎంత కడితే ఎంటెక్ కాబట్టి మాట్లాడుకొని ఎంతో కొంతకి చేసేసుకో సరిపోతుంది వాటికి అది వచ్చిందంటే మనం ప్రాజెక్ట్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం లాస్ట్ వీక్ లో రమ్మన్నారు సార్ అంటే 28 తారీఖు నుంచి ఇట్లా మండే నుంచి వెళ్ళిపోతాము ఒక
విజయ్ కుమార్ గారు
తీసుకుంటే మనకు
This PPT is visible? No.
డసాల్ట్ ల్యాబ్ లో ఉన్నాడు.
No, sir.
No, okay. I don't know what is happening. This is the only option I am having to
amount. తీసుకుని సార్ హెచ్ఓడిని కలవచ్చు సార్. అదే ల్యాంకోలో ట్రై చేసిన సార్ అని చెప్పండి.
So now it is coming. Ramakrishna is there?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Yeah. Now this PPT shared now. No.
Sir, if you click on the share screen button, so immediately one window will open. Sir, in that window, your PPT should be visible, sir. PPT. So if you
No,
click on the PPT, automatically it will be shared.
Yeah. Okay, some window is opening. In that case, yeah, in that PPT I have to click. Okay.
Just click on the PPT, sir. PPT.
Yeah, now
it is okay, sir.
Okay then. Yeah.
Now you click on the F5 button, sir.
F5. Okay.
F5.
1 minute. Yeah, it's okay now?
Okay, sir.
Screen.
Okay. We can start, huh?
Yeah, okay.
Now you can start.
Okay. So good morning to everyone. So today, we have the session by Dr. Chandramohan Garu, Associate Professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, NIT Warangal. Sir is going to give the talk on sources and applications of green energy. So before starting the session, let me introduce the Dr. Chandramohan VP sir. So sir did BE in the field of mechanical engineering at Mananmaniyam Sundarnagar University, Nurul Islam College of Engineering in 2001. After that, sir completed master's degree in the stream of thermal power engineering at Annamalai University in the year 2002. So later, sir did the PhD in the area of thermal engineering on the topic convective drying of moist object at the Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi in the year 2012. Sir is presently working as associate professor in the mechanical engineering at NIT Warangal. So sir has the research experience of 13 years in the field of computational fluid dynamics, convection and conduction heat transfer, drying and simultaneous solution of heat and mass transfer, renewable energy sources, alternative fuels. So sir has published several research papers, articles, book chapters in various international journals, national journals, international conferences and national conferences. So about 53 papers were published in the international journals. Out of 47 are SCI papers and 6 are Scopus indexed papers. And 45 international papers are published in international conferences, and 13 papers are in national conferences. So sir has received 3 sponsored research projects of a total worth of 41.86 lakhs rupees funded by TechCube, COE and DST SERP. So sir has the 12 years of teaching experience and taught many subjects. Total 10 subjects has been taught in this 12 years. So during this period, sir has been involved in the undergraduate teaching, postgraduate teaching, establishment of a new fluid mechanics lab, teaching aids developed in the thermal engineering lab, and the curriculum framing of MTech machine design, production engineering, and CAD/CAM. So sir is also an editorial member, contributed his valuable research services by acting as editor and associate editor to some of the international journals.
Okay, sir. We will start this.
Sir, 1 minute,
Yeah.
sir. So, sir, as a guest editor for heat transfer engineering, Taylor Francis Journal from March 2016 to till date. Also, associate editor for some of the journals, regional editor, assistant editor for various journals, and sir also received some of the prestigious awards, Manak Inspire Award, National Innovation Foundation, DST India, and in the year 2019. Most cited elsewhere article, design, development, and performance of indirect type solar dryer for banana drying energy, proceed in the year 2020. Reviewer recognition award for the elsewhere journals. Applied energy, energy conservation and management, energy, International Journal of Heat and Mass Transfer, Renewable and Sustainable Energy Reviews. So DST Self Empowerment Scheme Award in the year 2016. Science Direct Top 25 Hottest Articles Award for IJTS Elsewhere Manuscript 2014. So Gold Medalist for Master of Engineering from Annamalai University. Dr. S. Satik Prize from Annamalai University for Master of Engineering ME first rank, CGPA 9 out of 10. And the sir has supervised 9 PhD research scholars, 5 completed and 4 are in progress, and 15 MTech students under supervision, 12 are completed and 3 are in progress. So BTech 4 supervised. So with this, I request Chandramohan sir. So, and I welcome you all. Welcome you, sir, for today's faculty development program. So on renewable energy intervention in industry, domestic and commercial applications. Over to you, sir.
Okay, sir. So thank you for a big introduction. Okay, we will start the topic. The topic which we agreed is sources and application of green energy. So we will see initially the start of green energy, why it is required, the green energy is required, and what is the situation of present scenario in India and abroad. And then few thermal systems we can see how can thermal system means renewable energy systems, that green energy systems. How can we generate power through the thermal systems? So that's why my topic. And if time permits, I will talk last 20 minutes with another one topic, and that is also essential for all of us. We'll see how it will look like. So first of all, we need to see why this green energy sources required, why these renewable energy sources were required, why the solar energy is much important. That's why I have taken few data from the websites that you can see that the global oil reserves, it's you can see the total is around 1,800 million barrels in 1994, and the requirement increased to 1,366, and then it is in 2004, and 2014 it is increased to 1,700. definitely it may be into 2024, it may be another 2000 plus 1,000 million barrels. So the requirement is increasing day by day. That is true, because almost all the countries are developing stage. There are few countries are developed already, and there are few countries are in developing state, including India. And also you can see this oil reserves. Oil reserves means how much oil they have at present, or even next 50 years or next 40 years, how much oil reserves they have. See this orange color. You can see that the Middle East means almost all the Arab countries, Saudi, Bahrain, UAE, like all the Middle East countries, having an oil reserve was almost 59.4%, 59.4% in 1994. You can imagine how these countries are very rich on oil. And that is one of the reasons those countries are very rich on that, though they have any other political and societal problems, but still, in terms of oil, they are very good in 1994. But at the same time, we cannot feel that the oil reserves were very perfectly, and then it is enough to take the oil infinitively. That type of thought need to be removed from the human mind, because the day by day you can see on that the energy or the oil reserves were reduced. See, in 2004 it is reduced to 54.9%, and then in 2014 it is reduced to 47.7%. It's a highly alarming now. Let's say in 2024 it may be 40 around, or 40 plus, maybe 40 plus percentage. So this is the reason we cannot believe on that the oil reserves are infinitive lives. So the oil reserves are reducing day by day. Okay, so this is the thing we are noticing in the recent days, and then it is a threat to all the human beings, because almost all the human beings are consuming the energy or conserving the energy, or we are consuming the energy. So it is a threat to all of us. We need to find the different ways to find different sources of oils, and preferably green sources of oils, because those oils were not disturbing the environment much. So such type of sources we need to identify. So, and another one is, you can see on that this orange portion is for Middle East, and another one alarm, or that is also one of the threat, South and Central America. That means America, we can say, or we can say the both the green colors, including North America. That means these two colors, South and Central America, North America. It is 11.4 plus 17.3, almost 18 plus. 18% of oil reserves the American countries have in 1994, but it is increased. You see, it's in 2004. It is increased to 16 plus 7, almost 23 or 24. From 18 to 24, it's within 10 years, their oil reserves increased. And then you just see just 2014, how their position, it is almost 30%, 30 plus percentage. Okay, so 30 plus percentage. Initially it is 18, and then 24, and then 30. They are gradually increasing. So this is another one advantage. One way it is advantage, and another one, this is also one of the threat for almost all the developing countries. And as of now, the US is claiming on that they have a good oil reserves for next 250 years. You cannot believe on that, because the Arab countries are telling that their oil reserves up to next 50 years, maybe it may survive at next 70 or 75 years, and after that there may be a question mark. But the US is claiming on that they have a perfect oil reserves for next 250 years, but at the same time they are very cunningly working on that, and they are not at all releasing, or they are not at all publishing their results till date. They are secretly telling on that their oil reserves are this much. But one can imagine here, their belief is that they wanted to consume all the oils from all over the world. They have to first consume all the oil reserves all over the world, including the Middle East countries and all other countries, next 50 years or 60 years or maybe 75 years. And after that only they will develop their own plant to take the oil reserves and then supplying the energy to all the countries. So they are believing on that after 75 years, they are the number one and they are supplying the energy to all the countries. So definitely they are number one. So that's one of the reason nowadays this political and then societal imbalances happened with the countries. Even China also worried about much. And this is one of the reason they are very much fond about this electrical energy and as well as the battery energy, battery stored energy. So they are trying to find different materials from different countries, including China and then other countries. And one of the unauthorized news telling on that, the China already captured a country. It's maybe a poor country, which is having a very good battery materials, which can be stored the electrical energy or heat energy much time beyond on that. So this is one of the reasons the solar cars or the solar battery cars may come into the, or electrical vehicles or battery cars are may reach into the market in 2025 only, because China is asking time up to 2025. Because the China is a well-developed country, and if they have all the provisions, then they can give their battery cars in 2020 itself. Why they are asking 2025? That is their secret behind on that. Actually, they found that real ore of that particular battery material in one of the country, and then the country is almost directly or indirectly or officially or unofficially captured by the country. And then nowadays they are constructing the road from that country to China. Constructing road from that country to China. It's almost, it is told that almost 10,000 kilometers road. Or they are telling initially the 5,000 kilometers road will be constructed. So it's true that in the future world will be a sound disturbing one because of this energy reserves as well as energy consumption. So anyway, these are the future problems, but this is the thing we need to take care about. So India also need to be taken care about these issues, and then we need to work for a very good sources of natural energy, renewable sources of energy or green energy. That's why I'm trying to give this talk. And then this is the US situation. And then what about the Asia situation? You see, Asia Pacific. In 1994, it is only 3.5. It is reduced to 3 in 2004. It is reduced to 2.5 in 2014. In the Asia Pacific, only India also there. So we are very poor in these situations, in the oil reserves. So those countries having a lack of this oil reserves, and the countries wanted to much energy to run the day-to-day life, need to worry much in the future days. So that's why we need to develop our own plans with the environmental friendly fuels or environment friendly sources, energy sources. So the next slide also almost explains the similar case. The global electricity generation in 2012, that means 2012. You see, this is the global situations. The coal is having a highly used fuel. It is around 39.3%. And then natural gas, it's 27.6. Nuclear is another one, 19.5. Hydropower is 6.7. There are some countries are working good on hydropower, but not India. Wind is almost 4.2%. And other renewable sources, you see just a very small percent, 2.1%. This is the thing we need to take and care. The other renewable sources. So this, how it can be expanded and then how the sources of the coal can be reduced, how the sources of nuclear energy can be reduced. This is the thing, are a big challenges on the researchers as well as Indian researchers also. So now Indian scenario, if you see the Indian scenario, this is the history taken in 2012. I couldn't get a recent data. So we are almost using 69% of coal. Okay, so the energy dependent on India is based on 69% based on the coal power plant. And the next bigger is hydro. This is also somewhat question mark because nowadays almost all the hydro power plants were out of working condition because there are number of dams. Anyway, now the last year it is okay, but last 10 years the situation is very bad. The water capturing capacity also bad in the situation because of the shortage of rainings. And the gaseous power plants are 10%. And luckily, we are good on this renewable sources of energy. Okay, this is one of the good sign because you can see in 2012, the renewable sources is only 2.1% only. But India is doing fine, more than average. Okay, that's why there is some formidable task on this renewable energy sources, but still it is a very good option to promote this energy scenario in India, and we have to work for that. And another one statistics I have taken yesterday, the global electricity generation predictions, how it has happened in 2040. You can see on that. This is also global, not Indian scenario. It's in 2014, it's renewable is almost 23%. It is the second one. First one is coal and second one is renewable. This is itself a good sign on that. So everyone is working on that on renewable power plant, renewable sources of energies. So together 23% it is taken for renewables in 2014. In 2017, it is 25%. These two pictures I took from different sources, but it's some reliable information because this is 2014, it is 23%. 2017, it is 25%. It means that it is we are day by day, we are moving on the renewable sources. And in 2040, the renewable energy is the major one. You see, renewable energy is the major one, and then coal is the second one. Other all the sources were come behind on that. Okay, renewable sources is 34%. Almost all the countries are working very vigorously on this natural sources of energies. Because we are really worrying about the oil reserves and other fuel reserves. This may be better options. And also nowadays the countries are blaming others because of the environmental impact, global warming, greenhouse effects. So this is the only option to promote the environmental very clean. So renewable sources of energy is must. This is a very important statistical data. 2040, we are only believing on the renewable energy. That's that is reaching the topmost priority. Other all the sources were reduced. So now, I assume that some faculties and scholars are there in this participant list. So now it is time to pick up these renewable sources of energy in a very vigorous manner, and then we need to work hard to promote the solar-based system or renewable-based systems in a top manner. Okay, so now we will see one by one what are the different sources of green energies are there. We know the first preferable one is sunlight because it's a very heavily available, abundantly available, with a very large quantum of energy is available. And then wind, also one of the natural sources of energy. Rain, also one of the natural sources of energy. Tides and waves. Both are tides means we can say the small tides, and waves means the bigger tides we can say it's waves. Like there are some specific sea regions, we will get these waves, that means bigger tides. This also can be used to generate the power. And then biofuels is another one area. India is working very hard on these biofuels, but still the support of the government agencies not are in the expected level on biofuels. That is the reason the biofuels not reaching, but the researches were going fine, but executing is a little, we are in backward. And then the last one is geothermal heat. The heat which is taken from the land, that can be also one of the reasonable sources of energy. So we will see one by one. I don't know how I can complete all the things, but at least I will try to give some impact on this renewable sources of energy. The first one is sunlight. You know, the earth receives almost 174,000. That means 1,74,000 terawatt. 1 terawatt is almost a 10 power 12 watt. Sorry, 1 terawatt is equal to 1 trillion watt. 1 trillion watt, or there is 10 power 12 watt. It's a very big quantum of energy. 1,74,000 terawatt of incoming solar radiations is received by the earth, by the upper atmosphere, or by the sun. So this, you cannot imagine, this is a very big amount of energy, very quantum of energy. In this very big quantum of energy, we are consuming less than 1% of the energy only. That is another one problem. So it means that still there is a very huge quantum of energy can be absorbed and can be generated the electrical current, and that can be used to run number of systems. Okay, so it is telling that approximately 30% of the energy is reflected back among the 1,74,000 terawatt. Some 30% of the energy is reflected back, that we cannot do anything, because that is the natural balance, energy balance happening in the earth to the sun and the atmosphere. But the remaining energies are there. Another 70% of the energy is there. While the rest is absorbed by clouds, oceans, and land masses. Okay, so the remaining solar energies were absorbed by clouds, oceans, and land masses. Land masses means earth surface, and buildings, land, soils, all other natural land materials. So the most of the world's population live in the areas with the insolation levels of 150 to 300 watt per meter square. Yeah, this is the average solar intensity happened in the entire world. But India is lucky. India is a very huge solar installation. You see, the average is 150 to 300 only. But India is almost, the maximum is 1 to 19 watt per meter square. We can get this value in almost in the April, May, June timings. So we also done the experiment and found that our maximum solar intensity is 1180 watt per meter square in Warangal, Telangana. 1180. So it means that we have a very good quantum of solar energy comparatively other all the world countries. So that's why we are lucky, but at the same time we are not that much energy is absorbed or used from the solar energy. So now we have to think about that, how we have to capture a good amount of solar energy. So one more picture is given, how much amount of solar energy will be reaching to the ground and how much amount energy will be leaving from the ground. The incoming solar energy is almost the same value only, 174,000 terawatt. And we are using another one unit. So 174 petawatt. Petawatt. 1 petawatt means 10 power 15 watt.
Okay. हमारे डिपार्टमेंट जब वो 4-5 साल के पीछे हमारे डिपार्टमेंट में काम में लगता था.
Hello, I'm getting some disturbance. Hello. Yeah, this is 10 power 15 watt. 1 petawatt means 10 power 15 watt. So the incoming solar radiation is almost 174 petawatt. And among that, a meager amount, a very small amount, 10% is immediately reflected to the atmosphere. Immediately reflected to the atmosphere and reflected by clouds. It's almost a big quantum. It's almost 35% of the 35 petawatt. 35 petawatt. And reflected by Earth surface, because in the Earth also there are number of surfaces are there, number of like a smooth surface is there, rough surface is there. So all those surfaces were reflecting a good amount of solar energy. And then absorbed by atmosphere. Okay, another 33% were absorbed by atmosphere, because atmosphere have a lot of gases, including moisture, dust particles, all the gases, including hydrogen, nitrogen, and all other gases. These all other gases were almost absorbing another 33% of the energy. So this 10, 35, 7, almost 45, 52, 82, 85, almost 50% of the energies were lost. 50% of energy is lost, and then the remaining energy is reaching to the ground only. See, almost 89 petawatt absorbed by land and oceans. 89 petawatt is absorbed by land and oceans, and again from the oceans, a formidable amount of energy will be lost. One option is conduction and rising air, that is around 12 petawatts. And then this latent heat in water vapor, and then radiation absorbed by the atmosphere, that is another 26. The radiated from Earth surface is another 10. So together almost triple one percentage will be radiated to the space. But still we have a good quantum of energy will be there in the Earth. Okay, so you can see that solar power is developing rapidly in India. In 2016, the cumulative installed grid connected solar power capacity was almost 7,000 plus megawatt. At the same time, you just see on that, this is the data taken in 2016. It's almost 7,000 plus megawatt. You just see in 2020, it's a recent data. As on 31st August, the country's solar installed capacity is 35,000 plus megawatt. You see almost how much percentage we are increasing, almost 500%. Our installed capacities plans are almost 500%. That's why I told the India is doing fine. Comparatively, the other countries in there, India is doing fine, but comparatively the amount of solar radiations which we are received in the earth, that usage is low. But comparatively the other countries, we are doing very good work on that. The proposed target is around 1 lakh megawatt by 2022. Okay, 2020 we reached only 35,000. The proposed is around 2022. But another one proposed is given here. It is C. In 2015, there is one proposal were submitted, and that time our energy generation is only 40,000 megawatts for 2022. But nowadays we are reaching 35,000 plus megawatts in 2020. That means 2022 we will reach this value. This is the proposed value in 2015 we are reaching. And also India is ranked #1 in terms of solar electricity production. You see, this is one of the big positive point on Indian scenario on this solar energy. So we are good. We have a very good manpower, and we have a very good technicians, scholars, and good researchers. So that is one of the reason we are doing this much work on this solar energy, and as well as government also giving some support. And we could capture a first rank in terms of solar electricity. So I have taken one table from websites. You can see on that how our states were doing fine for different years, 2015, 16, 17, and 19. I couldn't get a recent one, 2020. You can see on that there are some states are doing very fine, very good work on solar energies. Which state is doing first on that? See, Karnataka. Karnataka is doing very good work on that. It's almost 6,000 plus megawatt energy is received only from solar energy. So they have a very good improvement. You see, the last 3-4 years, they have a very good improvement. 2015, they have very small. And 16 also, they are very small. 2017 also very small. See, just to see the last 3-4 years. It's a very good approach by the government of Karnataka and as well as the private parties. And then what is the next state you can see on that? Telangana. Sorry, Rajasthan. Yeah, Rajasthan is doing fine. Sorry, Telangana only doing fine. Second rank is. Telangana is using almost 3,500 plus megawatts. They're generating solar electricity, almost 3,500 megawatts. So Telangana is doing fine. Andhra also doing fine. Anyway, the third goes to Rajasthan, 3,226 megawatts. And then Andhra is the fourth one, 3,085. And Tamil Nadu is also doing fine. Tamil Nadu is around 2,575. Gujarat is catching the sixth position only. Okay, we are assuming that the Gujarat is doing fine, but there are 5 states where doing fine. It's not only solar power plant, even all the other cases also, all the other elements also, the southern states are doing fine. Okay, so that's why. So there, one of the reason is the southern portion, we have a very good number of literate people. That means we have a very good literate people, PhD scholars also more, and then postdoctorate, even professors also more, and then very good hard workers. That may be one of the reason we are doing this many researches on the solar energy, because these are the output of researches only. We have a very good researches happening all over the institute. It's not only IITs and IITs, even private universities also doing fine. I know there are a number of universities that are doing fine on this solar energy. And these are the outputs now came as a energy production, and then it is supported by the government. And then there are few private organizations also joining with the government, and then the institutes. Anyway, it is a good alarming sign. In this table, I have left a number of other states because there are a number of states values were still not in a position to present here. But my interest is they have to do fine. All the other states also need to start their solar energy related work, because India is a luckiest land having a good amount of solar energy, and that need to be converted into useful energy. So now we will see what are the different systems, passive solar building system. I don't know how this, the top layer, how I should hide. Okay, we'll see. The first one is solar design. Yeah, the passive solar building design. So this is one of the system developed in number of countries, and India, I don't think so. There were that much systems were in India. We will see how this system will work on that. Let's say one simple example is given. Let's say you are traveling in a car in a sunny afternoon, and windows were perfectly closed. And how much time you can sit inside comfortably? Because the glasses were always collecting the solar energy, the car window glasses, always collecting the solar energy and always transmitting the solar energy inside the car. Inside the car, the human is traveling, the man is traveling. The man body will absorb that much amount of heat energy. And also it's a closed enclosure. The system, the car is a closed enclosure. A good amount of heat energy will be trapped inside, and this always will create uncomfortability. You can understand that heatness within next 5-10 minutes. Even 5-10 minutes, you cannot sit in a closed window car, because that much amount of heat is generated. So now one can imagine in a small enclosure, this is the car, the volume almost maybe 2 meter cubed volume inside on that. Let us assume on that approximately 2 meter cubed volume. Inside a small 2 meter cubed volume, that much amount of heat is generated, then why can't use that heat energy to heat our home or heat our institutes, classrooms, heat the auditoriums? Why can't be possible? It is possible. Okay, so that's the reason we need to study this passive solar design system. The reason is the closed windows traps the sun rays, driving up the temperature inside the car. The principle which is used in these passive solar systems. In the passive solar system, the buildings are designed to trap and distribute the sunlight to keep buildings warm in winter and cooler in summer. So that energy which we are trapped inside the car, that not only will be heating the enclosure, at the same time, in this winter time also, that solar energy can be collected and then heat the car, or sometimes heat the air inside a home. So that option we have. So, but how the system can be possible? Okay. So architects play around the windows, wall and floor design to achieve this. So we have a very good number of people are working on that. Passive solar buildings are customized, require a careful design, but we need a careful design, but it's not a impossible one. We can generate such type of system. You can see this figure. This entire the building, the top roof, the roof of the building, and then the floor of the building, the walls, all the walls of the house, everything need to be properly designed with the proper materials. Then we can attract a very good amount of energy, solar energy. So that's the only one design factor we need to be considered. But this is not a impossible one. We can do in our for our home also. We can do that. But this type of awareness we are not reached, and another one is the requirement also less. We are not in a position, or our requirement to heat the room air is not necessary in nowadays. But there are some states like northern states, there is a very huge winter is there. Then they have to heat the air. But that type of work is not happened still in India. But there are some very good countries are using this technology by providing a good design on this roof, walls, and floor of a home, and then they are capturing energy. But their problem is those countries, their solar energy will be very less. I told the average is 150 to 300 watt per meter square only. Let's say in Australia, there are certain cases their solar irradiation is less than 200 watt per meter square, but still they are using the solar energy for heating the room air. Okay, but in India that situation is not there. In northern states we have a problem, but other states, even in the southern, from Warangal through southern India, we don't have that much very cruel climate. But we need to think about that, how that option can be given to North Indian people through the technology which we are getting from the southern states. Okay, so windows, walls, and floors are made to collect, store, and distribute the solar energy in the form of heat in the winter and reject the solar heat in summer. Okay, so we can generate. Sometimes we need to heat the air in winter, and sometimes we need to reject the heat in summer. Okay, reject the heat means we need to reduce the air temperature by providing air conditioner or similar conditioning equipments, but at the same time, the power need to be generated with the help of the solar energy. Okay, that can be possible. So this is called a passive solar design. Passive means it's almost like a natural system. We are not using any forced device. If you are using the forced device, then it is called active solar design. Forced design means like we are using some fan or blower. Then we are circulating the air inside from here to outside to inside. Then we can say active case, but it's a passive solar design. That itself enough. We no need to use any other forced device. The key to designing a passive solar building is to best take advantages of local climate. Whatever the local climate, even Australia is using the plant, even the solar radiation is 200 watt per meter square. They could use on that, then why can't we? Okay, the elements to be considered include window placement and glassing type, thermal insulation and shading. These are the areas we need to work much on that, because once the solar energy will be trapped inside through the glasses provided on the walls, the trapped energy should not be lost. The trapped energy should not be lost. That's why we need to provide proper insulation throughout the house or the auditorium. Okay, that we need to work on that. We need some heat transfer calculations, and already we have studied the critical radius of insulations and then insulation materials. And according to that, we have to select the materials, and then we need to work on this insulation part. Passive solar design techniques can be applied most easily to new buildings, but existing buildings also can be retrofitted. People may feel on that already the house is constructed. Now we are disturbing the home, but we can do on that. In the existing home also, with the care of little attention, we can make this passive solar design system for cooling the air, because our climate in summer is very horrible. Most of the places are 40 to 45 degrees Celsius, and summer, even northern also, northern also, the summer is very horrible. But by using this available solar energy, we can generate the power and we can condition the room by using this passive solar design. So I didn't go with the detailed design pattern. I simply given some overall idea. And the next one is solar lantern. The solar lantern, it is a photovoltaic panel operated system. That means the importance of the photovoltaic panel is it will absorb the solar energy and then immediately it will be converting the heat energy into electrical energy. This is one of the big advancement happened in the solar lantern. So this can be used, and also there are number of homes in India, maybe some very less percentage only, but still the numbers are more. Still we are powerless homes are there. There are some hill regions, tribal regions, still the electricity couldn't reach them, but such type of cities, such type of people, we have to provide this type of solar lantern. There are some governments are doing fine on that. We will see how the governments are doing. First, we will see some simple construction of the setup. The solar lamp, also known as solar light or solar lantern, it consists of an LED lamp. You can see on that the LED lamp, solar panel, battery, charge controller, and inverter. So these we need to work on that, because there are some people work on these solar systems, some mechanical people working on the solar systems, but at the same time they are not aware how the energy can be stored and how the energy can be transmitted. They have problems. So such type of people can work together with some other branch people, and then our final output, the electricity need to be retrieved from the system. So we need to work on that. Different streams can work together and find a fruitful system at finally. The lamp operates on electricity from batteries charged through the use of solar photovoltaic panel. Okay, the electricity is generated and that can be stored in the batteries, and the system is working fine, and it is gliding or glowing. It can replace other light sources like candles or kerosene lamps, because there are some tribal regions still people are surviving with candles and kerosene. But this system can be used. The daytime, the system can work on that. The energy can be, heat energy will be generated and that can be stored in the battery, and that stored battery energy can be used in the night time. Without candles and kerosene we can use. Means the kerosene is one of the highly polluted fuel. It is also taken from the petroleum product, one of the sub-product of petroleum, but it is directly affecting the human beings, because we are burning the kerosene inside the home. It is directly affecting the internal organs. So the kerosene need to be avoided. That is one of the reasons nowadays the outside market, the kerosene is not at all sold because of the government interventions. So this type of panels can be used to avoid such type of situations. It is cheaper than other standard lamps, because I found one of the case that online price only. Online price of this solar lantern is only 200 rupees. Okay, maybe the product may be a local one, but we can purchase a plant. We can purchase that solar lantern and can work further. How the life of the system can be improved. It can be useful for supply of electricity for other devices. It's not only giving light, as well as we can use charges for other systems like cell phones, refrigerating cool drinks, and then other purpose also we can use this stored energy in the battery. Investors are working a lot. Let's see in one of the recent reports in February 2020, the Himachal Pradesh government ordered almost 10,000 solar lanterns. The Himachal Pradesh, it's one of the state having a very limited amount of solar energy among India, but still they are ordering almost 10,000 solar lanterns to their own people. Because through that they wanted to reduce the energy consumption. Such type of hill states are facing problem to transmitting the energy from a plant, because there is a very almost 2,000, 3,000 height through 2,000, 3,000 kilometers height from the ground, from the sea level. So the energy transmission is always problem. If they are sending 100 megawatt power through the linings, and finally it is reaching only 20 megawatt power only, that much loss will be there. Okay, so but they have to pay for 100 megawatt power. That's the problem this type of the hill states are facing. That's why the local administrations are encouraging such type of solar lanterns. See, the Maharashtra government has given an expression of interest to supply 5,000 solar lanterns per year. Okay, because in this case the demand is more, but the productivity is less. That's why the government wanted to give more. I have seen one of the website news. The government wanted to order more per year, but they couldn't on that. Finally, they are restricting to 5,000 solar lanterns per year. That itself, around 4 or 5 companies are trying to fulfill the order. This also very recently, 17 September 2020. So it means that this is one of the good system we can use in our home to avoid the artificial electrical energy. The next one is the solar car. Solar car. There are some countries are working fine on the solar car. Just now I told that China is working on the solar car, but they are confidently telling on the 2025 only they can commercialize the solar cars and then solar buses. I'm very sure on that the China is going to capture the entire energy market for the next 25 to 30 years. Because not based on the oil energy, based on the battery energy. I told just now I told they are capturing one country and then they are taking the sand, the normal sand, normal soil. In that soil, that natural ore is available. That battery, the material which is required for the battery, some chemical material is available in that soil. And from that soil, they wanted to retrieve that particular chemical and they wanted to store the energy and make their own system. This is their actual plan. They are asking time up to 2025. The materials, somewhere I mentioned some materials like zirconium, some that materials, it's available even in our soil also it may be available. In Indian soil also it may be available, but the quantum will be very less. Okay, there are some Indian soils having a very good natural energies, natural ores, which can be, there are number of chemicals can be retrieved. There are some cases it is already looted, or sometimes it is already, sometimes it is not found till date. For example, in our area, Kanyakumari region, the once a time I remember the seashore sands will be looking very dark, black color sand. Okay, it is a high rich uranium soil. Our maybe it's 20, 30 years before we don't aware those things, and all the soils were sold to some other countries, and those countries were got benefit, and then they are capturing the uranium from that site. So we are losing. Maybe 30, 40 years before, we don't have that much technology. And even our politicians also not knowing this fact. And then almost a huge quantum of soil were sold to other countries, some rich countries, and now they are very big on nuclear powers. So similarly, there are number of stations, number of states, and then hills having some natural sources of energy. And even there are nowadays some hills having some natural chemical energy in West Bengal, Gujarat, and then there are some states already identified, but still some are all based on the international politics. But anyway, we have to overcome all those things. So now we will see. Anyway, so China will be capturing almost all the battery-operated vehicles in the next 5 to 10 years. And entire countries are going to purchase the solar cars from China. Solar cars or battery cars, everything, because they are producing in a huge lump sum production. We will see here, I have made some solar cars available all over the world. It's not only from China. See, in Australia, they have developed a car, SunSwift solar car, Eve. The model name is Eve. It is already published, but still it is not reaching to the market in a very full-fledged manner. This is the model I took from the website, SunSwift. And the next one is Tokai Challenger, the winner of the 2009 World Solar Challenger, with an average speed of 105 kilometers per hour. Could you imagine this one? In a solar powered car, we could reach the average speed of 100.5 kilometers per hour. Okay, that's why it's a very good potential is there in the solar energy, and we need only some believings and then potential to capture that energy. So a car is running with 100.5 kilometers per hour with an average speed. This is enough for the Indian roads as per the present scenario, even in Hyderabad or in other cities. So this is a very good sign on that we can generate this such type of solar car. And that car is run for more than, is approximately 3,000 kilometers race without further fueling, without any additional fuel. Okay, see, this is the model. It is already there in the YouTube website. You can see on that later. So the next one is the solar cars only run on solar power from the sun. So in between, 1 minute. Excuse me, the organizers, anybody there? In between, we need to give any break for the participants?
No need, sir. You can
Not
continue.
necessary. I can continue, no?
Yes.
Okay then. Okay then, not a problem.
Right.
So now, the solar cars only run on solar power from the sun. To keep the car running smoothly, the driver must keep an eye on car's energy consumption, solar energy capture, and as well as other parameters related with the solar energy. This is one of the problem. Anyway, this is one of the challenge we can say, because the driver need to concentrate on the road and other factors, because India is a very populated country. We need to take care about much on the road rules and traffic rules. But in the solar cars, there are some extra responsibilities need to be taken care by the drivers, because the fuel is solar energy. That's why the car's energy consumption need to be noticed. The car's energy consumption need to be noticed. The solar energy capture need to be absorbed by the driver, and other parameters. Maybe these all the things were programmed in a computers, and then we can see in a indicator, and then according to that, the driver should act on that. Let's say the energy consumption is more, then he has to worry about the energy reserved already in the battery. Then only the car can, the driver can work further. Similarly, the solar energy capture, somewhere the road which he is traveling may not have that much solar energy, and that time he has to find other options how the vehicle can be run without further restrictions. So like that, some extra responsibilities were increased for the drivers. Anyway, once the solar car will come to India, we will know the difficulties, and then the extra responsibilities we need to take and care in such type of provisions. That time we will be getting exposure, and then we will be finding the solutions. But still it is one of the factors. The China, one of the company told these are the factors need to be taken care much. And also nowadays the solar cars, that principle is used in number of other applications like aerospace, bicycle, alternative energy, and automotive industries. I remember one of the cycle purchased by one of the student in Hyderabad, and he's the cycle cost is 50,000 rupees, maybe around 7-8 years before. 50,000 rupees. That time itself, the cycle cost is 50,000, means you can imagine the cost of the cycle. The cycle having a small panel, solar panel, PV voltaic panel, and through that he is running a electrical bell, or we can say electrical bell, like a electrical calling bell, and as well as he is running a fan through the photovoltaic provisions on the bicycle. So these techniques already there. We need to care about little design aspects of these systems, and then we can use such type of systems in our normal day-to-day life vehicles also. The design of solar vehicle is severely limited by the amount of energy input into the car, definitely. And most solar cars have been built for the purpose of solar car races and public use. This means the report taken around 3-4 years before, we are using, because these are the only factors, these are the only sources, the solar car races and public use. Through the race or through the solar race competitions only, we are advertising to others that this type of cars are already available. So this is one of the reasons they are used for solar competitions, car races and competitions. Yeah, there were few the operation of these photovoltaic solar cars were mentioned here. You can see on that. The solar cars depends on a solar array that use photovoltaic cells to convert sunlight into electricity. So unlike solar thermal energy, which converts the solar energy to heat for either household purposes or industrial purposes, the PV cells directly convert sunlight into electricity. That is the main concept behind on that. That PV cells, it's almost like a chemical materials, will be absorbing the solar energy, and then it is somewhat vibrating or shivering, and then the free electrons are coming from the materials, and that can be circulated through the electrical circuits, and finally the electrical energy will be produced. That's why, yeah, it is mentioned here, when sunlight strike PV cells, they excite electrons and allow them to flow and creating the electric current. This is the concept of these PV panels. Yeah, I told these are the materials like silicon, alloys of indium, gallium, nitrogen. There are some other materials also. Some materials can be stored the heat energy or solar energy very long time. This is the materials I told. The China is capturing one country from. They are taking the soil of that particular country and then transporting that soil through the road they are constructing from that country to China. They are planning that every day more than 1,000 lorries were used to take the soil. And then they don't want to develop their plant in that particular country because they are fearing about the technology may be copied by someone. That's why they wanted to keep their plant in China itself. But the sand, the raw materials need to be transported. These are the materials, maybe they're silicon, indium, gallium, nitrogen materials. So the crystalline silicon is the most common material. These are the crystalline silicon is the most material which India is using for energy usage for electronics and other applications, solar energy applications. It is the efficiency will be very less, 15 to 20% only. That's why they wanted to go for a good material which is having a better efficiency. Okay, this maybe the silicon, indium, gallium, and nitrogen having a better efficiency. Still, there is no published data about these materials. But if China is involving on that, then definitely they have their own calculations, and maybe it is giving better efficiency. The first solar family car was built in 2013. Researchers at Case Western Reserve University have also developed a better solar car, which can recharge more quickly due to better materials used in the solar panels. So there were a number of list of the solar power cars are there. You please go through these cars once again. This Australia have two cars. This list is taken 2-3 years before. The two cars were there. Canada is one, China is one. Here it is mentioned, but they have a very good number of companies working on this solar cars. It's you know that it's one of the communist country. Will keep all the data is a very secret manner. That is their plus point. So they have a very good number of companies on solar cars. Germany already have 4 companies: Italy, Japan, Monaco, Netherlands, New Zealand, Pakistan, Slovenia, Switzerland, Taiwan, USA. There are number of countries are working on that, and number of countries already published their first car, or their car came into the market, but still it is not reaching to the people in a familiar way. Maybe in the further days it may hit on that. India also not bad, because in this list I didn't put India because I separately mentioned India. There were a number of organizations developed solar cars, including NIT Warangal already produced a solar car. Professor Puli Ravikumar is working on that solar related cars, and he already made a collaboration with one of the company in Warangal itself. And recently the auto, it's like a normal auto, the passenger auto, but it is designed in different way according to take care about the solar PV panels on the top of the floor. And they are already developed a solar powered auto, but still it is not reaching to the market. This is the problem we are facing. Maybe the speed we are achieving, and then the solar energy trapped is not that much easily reached to our auto drivers. We have to work towards on that, how our product need to be reached to our society. Society means if a product is manufactured and then it need to be reached to the auto drivers, and then only they will run for our people. But how there are some hurdles are there, and that need to be created, and then we can do excel, because in auto is one of the vehicle which India is using very familiarly. But there were a number of vehicles. See, the Bangalore man manufactured a car. He already traveled almost 3,000 kilometers. It is a Indian-based, Indian manufactured car. He told all the panels, other components of the vehicle, everything is received from the Indian markets only, not from manufactured from outside. It is all the components were manufactured from India. There are some good number of stores are there with the solar equipments, solar components like solar panels, PV photovoltaic panels, batteries. There are number of, even I remember there are my colleagues also started their own organizations in my area. So it is almost reaching to people one by one, but still we need to work hard to harvest a very good amount of solar energy. So India is getting an electric car that can be charged with the solar power. This is reported in a website. It's in January 2013. That time we believed that this type of car will be reaching the market very fast. But still, there are some cars are there in the market, but the cost is very high. It's almost 25 lakhs minimum itself it is taking. But still it is okay, even if you are using some 25 lakhs, and after that we are not using any fuel. It's simply running with the electric, with the solar provisions. So once the number of productions will be more, there is a chance this cost of the car will be coming down. That we are still achieving. But the markets, the industry is also faring on that. If the market is not good, then they have to make a U-turn for their decisions. But I hope on that these things will be, these local hurdles will be solved within next few years. And India also will be, yeah, this is the, I told, this is one of the car, similar type of car only, similar type of auto car. It is a very simple design. This is made in Bhopal in January 2009. Whatever the NIT Warangal had made the car is similar way. A similar type of auto. Almost 3 to 5 people can sit in this side and that side. So this can be drawn. Recently, I went to Kolkata. There you can find a similar type of electric vehicles. Electric vehicles, not solar vehicles. They are having a small battery, and that battery can be charged every 5 to 6 hours once, and then they can run the vehicle. It's a small vehicle, one auto, maximum 3 or 4 people only there. Even the auto size is very small comparatively the autos in Telangana or Andhra. It's a very small one, but people are enjoying that riding. It's only battery operated vehicle. There is no fuel. They are not at all using fuel in that auto cars. And another one is, this is done in Manipal University in 2015, a 2-seated car, and they could achieve it's a 60 kilometers per hour. So like that, there were a number of solar systems were there. So now, its time is almost 11:45. I will start the next topic also. At almost 12, another 20 minutes, I should complete this topic, because the last 20 minutes I need to give another one topic. So in between, if you need any break, then it's if any 2 to 3 minutes. If you need any break, then it is better. How do you feel, the organizers and participants?
It's okay, sir. You can continue. Okay, still because after session we can go directly for lunch instead of this breaking.
Okay, okay. Then I will start on that. This is solar updraft tower. So this is one of the very innovative technology. We are using the solar energy, and then through that we are trying to get the electrical energy. You please, all of you refresh good, and this is the topic I am working on that. One of my scholar, Dr. Ramakrishna, given much input on this topic. Presently, he is working with you, the same RGM College of Engineering. Maybe he is also one of the organizer. So he has given much insight on this solar updraft tower. We only started initially in India, but nowadays there were some 2-3 institutes are working in India, and almost another 10 to 15 countries are working all over the country. But at present, we have the only plant, though it is a prototype. Hello, any disturbance is there? Hello? No, no? Okay. So now, We will see how this plant will be working on that. So let's say this is the circular plant. It's a two-dimensional case. Hello. I'm getting some disturbance. Hello. The plant is a circular plant. You can see it's a circular collector.
Sir, your PPT is not
There
visible,
is
sir.
a 1 kilometer circle, 1 kilometer dia circle. That circle is continuously laid by solar collectors with a angled pattern, because the solar, based on our latitude and longitude, we need to provide our solar collector plate with some particular angle. That's why this collector plate, this blue line is a collector plate. You just imagine this is a circular plate which is having
Chandramohan sir.
Hello.
Sir, can you share your PPT, sir? PPT is not visible.
It is not visible, huh?
Not visible, sir.
Oh, I didn't do any adjustments, but what is happening?
Sometime automatically it switches, sir. Okay, what you need to do, you can.
Okay. One
Yes.
minute. Again, I will
Again,
do.
share, sir.
Okay. Okay, again, start share screen. Yeah. Now it is okay?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. So just to see here, there is a collector plate. This collector plate were laid 30-degree angle to the ground. You can imagine a very good plant, very big plant around 1 kilometer, but our prototype is only 3.5 meter diameter. But you imagine just like a kilometer, something 1 kilometer or 500 meters diameter. The bottom is a ground. It's a flat surface ground. And then these collector plates were laid with a 30-degree. And then in the top, we are providing a tower or chimney. The tower may be the tower height also, we can imagine up to 100 meters or 200 meters. Then actually our actual plant is 3.5 meter collector dia and then 6 meter height chimney height. 6 meter height chimney height and then 0.6 meter chimney dia. Okay, the working principle is, let's say here we are laying the solar collector plates. Solar collector plates means normal glass only. We have made with normal glass. And then here inside some air will be there, natural air will be there. That air will be getting heated because of the collected solar energy. Because the solar energy will be reaching to the collector plate and then it is collected, then it is transmitted inside the region. This region we will be saying it's a canopy region. Canopy means it's like umbrella. Inside this region, it's a canopy region. So the collected solar energy will be reached to the canopy region and that heat energy will be used to heat the air inside the canopy. When we are heating the air, it is in the normal thermodynamic is on that. When we are heating the air will be losing its density or the density will be reduced. Okay, so that means that inside the system, the density of the air will be less and outside the fresh air having the more density air will be there. Outside the fresh air having a more density, but inside the system it is a less density. Therefore, automatically the outside air will be entering inside the system through the air inlet provided at throughout the surface, because it's a 360-degree circle. So all the 360-degree, the air will be entering inside because of the density difference. And then now inside the air will be lesser density, outside air will be higher density. That's the reason the air will be always flowing from the higher density to lower density region. And then we are providing a chimney here. Chimney means it's a wherever we are providing the chimney, the industries like diesel power plants or any power plants, we are providing the chimney. The chimneys are used to create a natural draft inside the system. Then only the waste gas or the hot gas will be moving towards the top and then reaching to the top of the chimney and then leaving. So here also we are using the similar concept of using a chimney. The air will be heated and then it is flowing through the top of the tower. So there is a natural draft is created. We are not at all doing anything. We are not doing any fan or we are not sending the air. We are simply making the setup, but the system is working automatically. The system is working very automatically. We are there is a free of energy. And also another one advantage here is, though the air is flowing inside, here in this region is the very hot region. The airflow velocity we can reach up to 20 meter per second. 20 meter per second means it's a very big energy, very big flow. 20 meter per second means 20,000. Sorry, 20. It's you can just calculate in terms of kilometers per hour. It's a very big quantum of air will be moving through the chimney, and there we are providing a turbine. A turbine we are providing. So the turbine means it's almost like a fan. The fan is running because of the naturally moving air. So through the turbine, we are generating the power. Okay, the turbine means that means the air is heated, then the air will be flowing. Then the kinetic energy of the air will be used to run the turbine. The mechanical energy will be created. And from the mechanical energy, we can generate the electrical energy by providing proper generator and then other electrical equipments. So this is the concept. So there were a number of concepts were there in this figure. They are keeping the turbine here by providing a small nozzle type provision here. And then within the nozzle, they are providing the fan in almost 4 or 5 places. They are keeping this type of nozzle provision and then keeping a turbines. And instead of providing this type of 4 or 5 turbines, we can keep one turbine here. Then the entire energy will be absorbed by that turbine blades. And then the turbine blades will be rotating and then we are getting the energy. So this is one of the very innovative study. And then we are working on that. We have a very good group on that. But the group was started when Dr. Ramakrishna joining here. So now, yeah, this is the plan we have developed. Maybe here Ramakrishna, yeah, this is Ramakrishna. Could you see? I don't know. This is the plan here. This is the collector plates, the glass plates. The glass plates were laid with 30-degree angle. And then here we are providing the air inlet. We are providing some distance around 10 to 12 centimeters for air inlet. And then whatever the air is entering inside will be heated inside the canopy. This is the canopy region I am telling. That means that it's like the umbrella type portion where we have a good spaces inside the setup. We are telling a canopy region. So there the air will be heated, and that's the reason the fresh air will be entering inside, and then the air will be naturally flowing towards the top of the chimney, and this is the chimney. And this is because of the density difference or the buoyancy effect. We will say it's a buoyancy effect. We are keeping the turbine almost in this location, and then because of the flowing air, the turbine is always rotating, and then we are getting the electrical power. So this is the system we developed here. We can see, there are some pictures how these systems were already designed and how it is fabricated. We have a fabricator from Hyderabad. Yeah, I forgot his name. That fabricator is developed this setup based on the Ramakrishna design. The system is having almost 150 plus design parameters, performance parameters, and then other factors. So it is a tough design we can say, but it's already it is already published. So one can take those designs and one can generate such type of systems for their research work or even for their developing their own plant. You can see under the bottom there is a heavy steel bars were used to keep the wooden plates. The wooden plates are the circular one, and then after the wooden plates we are providing that natural sand and soil mixture, which is used to store the heat energy, because it's a normal sand, the building sand, building constructing, the sand which is used for building construction. And then there is a gravel, that rock powder. Rock powder means it's a big stone and this sand were mixed together and then laid on here. These two materials will be storing the heat energy, like whatever I told. The battery cars are using the heat energy, and then the heat energy will be stored inside the battery in terms of chemical energy. So there the chemical products were used to store the energy. Here in this system, we are using the natural materials like sand and gravel mixture to store the heat energy. And then here, this is called as chimney base. On the chimney base, we are laying this big chimney. See, like that the chimney is fitted. The chimney plates, we are purchasing some polycarbonate plate with each 1 meter height, and then we are making into cylinder with the help of this flanges that we are telling it's mild steel straps. Some flanges, like type of flanges were used to connect these cylinders one by one, and then finally we are getting the 6 meter cylinder. And then the strings were used to support the chimney because it's almost 6 meter height. Then we can, sometimes the Warangal is sometimes heavy wind is there. That's why we are using such type of strings to stabilize the plant. So we will see how this system will work on that. I don't know, I can go through all the cases because 12:10 I have to start another topic. The solar updraft tower is a renewable energy power plant for generating electricity from low temperature solar heat. The sunshine heats the air beneath a very wide greenhouse like. Anyway, whatever I told, it is there in this concept. Sir, 1 minute. Hello? Yeah. ஆமா, நான் ஒரு மீட்டிங்ல இருக்கிறேன். ஒரு 12:30 முடிஞ்சிடும். அப்புறம் கால் பண்ணவா? ஓகே. Hello, sorry for the disturbance. So my PPT is visible now? Okay, na?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah. So I will leave this working principle and then I will go to some important part. Yeah, there are some important design factors are there. The power output depends upon primarily on two factors, collector area and chimney height. These are the two things, because if we keep a very big collector area, whatever the collector area which we are keeping is only 3.5 meter diameter, but the real plant already developed in France, the place is Manzanares. The real plant they made is almost, they made it with 6 kilometers or something. And then the height of the plant is almost 194 meters. It is a very big plant. But they developed their plant with the help of a naturally available hill. Maybe their construction and design is not proper. That's the reason the plant erupted, and within next 3-4 years it is destroyed. That's why I told one of the reason. This is the present system is working fine in our college. And at present, I can say that this is the only plant is surviving. So based on that, we are getting on that collector area and chimney heights are the two important parameters. If you provide a big chimney height, let's say around 200 meters or 300 meters, it is tough task to construct a such type of a big plant. But still, if you made on that, then we can harvest a very good amount of energy without further adding anything. We no need to take care about. Even this solar panels or solar photovoltaic panels also is found that that panels were always the efficiency will be reducing day by day. But here in the systems, we no need to worry on that. Some simple maintenance is required for weekly once or 2 weeks once. Then the system work fine. But these are the two important parameters: collector area and chimney height. The larger area collects and warms a greater volume of air to flow in the chimney. The collector areas as large as 7 kilometers in diameter can give good efficiency. But you can imagine to construct a 7 kilometers chimney, how it's a big task for us. I have seen up to some chimneys in some industrial areas up to 100 meters. But 7 kilometers means it's somewhat tough. Okay, similarly, a large chimney height of 1 kilometer increases the pressure difference. So these are the problems on this the present system. The heat is stored inside the collector area following SUTs to operate 24 hours a day. In the picture I shown on that, if you are providing in the system, if the land is normal sand, if you are constructing this plant on the normal sand, then sometimes the energy cannot be stored, because in the daytime we will be getting a huge amount of solar energy, and that energy will be used to heat the air, but still the huge amount of solar energy will be trapped on the ground. And sometimes if the ground is not able to capture that energy will be waste. That's the reason in our system we have provided a normal sand and gravel mixture. This is a very good material to store the natural energy. You remember on that, if you walk on the seashore region with barefoot, you cannot walk sometimes, because that the seashore sand will be capturing or absorbing that much heat energy. Sometimes your legs will be burning. So the reason is that soil have that much characteristics to store the energy. Once the energy will be stored, the canopy region will be heated even without solar energy also. That means the plant can work even beyond the solar light off time. Even the solar light will be there up to 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. The plant can run another 3 or 4 hours, because the present system we developed here is generating the temperature difference of 5 degrees Celsius inside the canopy. That means the outside temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, but inside temperature is 35 degrees Celsius. So inside the temperature is 35 degrees Celsius. That means a 5 degrees Celsius temperature difference noticed at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. means early morning. That means the system can work sometimes, even if you are make a perfect system with the proper design, it can run up to 24 hours or round the clock it can run. So we need some very careful design. Anyway, this is made for experimental purpose, but still it is working on that. So like that, if the system can work sometimes up to 24 hours, the ground under the solar collector, water in bags or tubes or salt water, these are the other options. At present, we are using sand and as well as the gravel mixer. If you are filling with the water bags, because water also one of the substance can store a huge amount of heat energy. Okay, that's the reason we are heating the water in some apartments, and then around the clock we are supplying a hot water in the apartments, because the water have a particular sex type of a tendency to store the heat energy. its rho Cp values are very high comparatively the sometimes metal or equivalent to metal. Now metal is not a heat absorber, but water is a heat absorbing quality substance. Similarly, salt water, sea water. So you can, if the plant is constructed near the seashore region, you can take the salt water on the base of the plant through the tubes, and then huge amount of heat energy can be stored, and that stored heat energy can be used to run the plant when the solar power is not there. Okay, anyway, the CO2 emission is totally negligible in this plant. Energy payback, because we are, the only worry is to develop such type of plant, we need a good investment, because the chimney need to be erupted, the solar plates need to be purchased, and then we need to find out a big barefoot area or big free area that may be available in India, and some construction workers, and then we need very good design engineers to develop this type of plant. If you put all the investments together, then within 2 to 3 years we can get the payback. What the amount whatever we are put can be backed within next 2 to 3 years. So this is sometimes there are some plants is taking up to 5 to 6 years, like some of the diesel plants or some other plants. So this is one of the good sign on that we can within 2 to 3 years we can get back the amount. Since the solar collectors occupy significant amount of land, deserts and other low value sites are most likely can be preferred locations. That type of locations we have a lot of, even you can see there are some rivers also, they are laying the solar collectors, and then they are trying to produce electricity in Gujarat. We have a lot of unused lakes and rivers, free land, and even desert areas also there. We can use generate such type of plant. In some of the places, if the solar energy were not in the up to level market, there are some places the solar energy will be less, like some northeastern states. So that also we have a new glass is coming, unglassed transferred collector. There is a new collector. It's like almost like a plastic type of glass, or the plasticity of the glass will be slightly improved. It will be used to collect a small quantum of solar energy also. That's why this type of glass can be used and to generate the power. The small scale solar updraft tower may be an attractive option for remote regions in developed countries. Locating a tower at a high altitude could produce a 85% of the output of a similar plant. There were a number of data were given. Okay, so now there are few types of solar updraft tower is there. Whatever we have developed is a constant cross-section chimney. This is a constant cross-section chimney, but there are some literatures were there, but only theoretical studies, not the developed plant. If a chimney is somewhat a diverging type, there is some advantages here. If it's a diverging type, there will be a good pressure drop here. That is the reason in this neck of the region, we will be getting a higher airflow velocity. Then we can get a good turbine speed. That's why this divergent type chimney is planned in some of the theoretical studies. This we need some analysis to optimize the system. And another one is convergent type. In the convergent type, most of the time they are proposing to keep the turbine not on the chimney base, but instead of they're keeping here, the sides of the air inlet. Okay, if you are keeping around 4 or 5 turbines, then such type of system, because the system is always working as a nozzle in this case. The system is working almost like a nozzle, then automatically the air will be entering inside. The nozzle is a device which is used to increase the air speed. So the system, the convergent type of plant will be working as a nozzle, and then the airflow velocity will be increasing. Then we will be the turbine will be rotating very fast. And there are some theoretical studies are there to make a convergent divergent type SUT plant. Initially it is converging and then it is diverging. It's like that. But there is not much studies there on this type of plant, but we have to go for some optimization and then we can go on that. These optimization studies can be done with the help of some CFD tools. And another one is floating type of plant, because already I told on that the chimney which need to be developed is a casting one, and then heavy design procedures needed, and then a good skilled people needed to generate such type of plant chimney. Because if you are putting a 100 meters chimney or 1 kilometers chimney, height chimney, then sometimes it's not affected by the wind. If some heavy storms will be there, it's not affect. Then if it's a affection, then it will be a very big accident. So such type of careful design sometimes a big task, and sometimes we need a big investment. That's why it is one of the floating type SUT was introduced by Papa Georgiou in 2003 in Greece country, but it is only a theoretical aspect only. There is no plans or till days. He assumed that if the chimney is made a floating type chimney, that means when the air is flowing, then the chimney will be flexible. It is having some flexibility and it can move like that. When the air is moving in the opposite direction, then the chimney is moving like that, but still the chimney is working in a similar way. The air will be entering inside and then the air will be flowing inside, and then if you're keeping the turbine inside, and it should work, and then the power can be generated. Actually, he is telling on that he is seeing this type of phenomenon behavior inside the sea. You can see there are some seaweed, like this name is called slender and fairly limb kelp seaweed. The seaweed means in the sea we can get a continuous waves with high tides, with high velocity. But the seaweeds is not getting affected because of the high tides. When the tides is coming, it is moving in the right hand side direction. When the tide is moving in the opposite direction, then that time it is moving in the left hand side. Or in the 360-degree directions, the seaweed can move further, but still it is not dying, or it is not destroying. That the waves cannot destroy this seaweed. So this Papu George has noticed this type of phenomenon in some of the cases, and then he proposed this type of floating type of chimney. I think this also going to capture the research field in the next few decades, because the solar updraft tower is a very innovative technology, and then in that case the floating type also will be innovating technology. But at the same time, the chimney cannot be made by using concrete or cement or something. It need to be find some proper materials, like what they are telling is they are making some flexible rubber materials can be put on the bottom. The main chimney is fastened to the seat by heavy base and the folding lower part. It's a folded type. Any type, depends upon the air direction, it can be folded in any way. And when the air is not there, it will be straight. Okay, like that it can be made. Some, like you can find there are some double-decker buses in Hyderabad and some of the cities. The two buses were connected by using some flexible rubber hoses. Okay, when the vehicle will be turning, the first bus will turn first, and then second bus will be pulled because of this rubber hoses properly. So similar type of provisions can be given in this case. So anyway, there are number of topics are there. I should stop now. I will go to the next topic. Oh, time is reaching a lot. Solar swimming pool heater, wind energy, and then wind pump. See, this is one of the cycle I have seen, the solar powered cycle, which is used by a student in Hyderabad. Solar energy energy from rain, energy from tides. Okay, so I have one more slide. Hello. All the participants are there, na?
Please.
Okay, so I wanted to give one general talk. So wherever I'm getting opportunity, I'm talking this to all the people. So here also I can spend at least 10 to 15 minutes. So Prosopis juliflora, have you heard this name anywhere? So could you able to see my PPT, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah. This is one of the plant, juliflora
Sir,
plant.
visible, sir.
Visible, okay, good. So have you heard this name, this Prosopis juliflora? Not aware, na? Okay, but it's everyone aware on that. I will say what is the plant. Have you seen this plant? You please respond all. Have you seen this plant?
Yes, sir. It is commonly available in case of dry land.
Yeah,
and land
from it is available from Kanyakumari to Kashmir. What is the local name, sir? It's a Tummachetty something we are telling, na?
Karuvele Maram, sir. Karuvele Maram.
Tamil, yeah, Tamil it is Karuvela Maram. Who is the Tamilian?
Sir, I'm Sabrinath from Madurai, sir.
Oh, very good, very good, very good to hear that. What about the local name, Telugu name in here? Telugu name? It is Tummachetty something I am hearing. Okay. So I will explain what is the problem of this plant. Yeah, in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, we are telling this name as Mullattumma or Sarkar Tumma or Chillachettu. See the word Sarkar Tumma. I will explain why the word is Sarkar Tumma. In Hindi, it is called as Angariji Babul, Kabuli Kikar, Vilayati Babul, some different names all over used. But no one is aware about this nature of the plant and how this plant will be killing in the Indian agricultural system. That's still question mark. Even when we are studying in our schooling, what are the factors affecting our Indian agricultural field? We will be studying something, all the blah blah things, but no one is worrying about this plant. Actually, one of these plants will be killing our Indian paddy field. It's almost 30 to 40% of the paddy field only now surviving. 60 to 70% of the paddy field already destroyed because of this plant. So how many people you are knowing on that? Okay, so now we have to see how this plant came inside in India, because this is not the natural plant of India. This is taken from some one country, and also it is genetically modified, and then it need to be spread all over India. Like that it is planned, and then it is distributed to India through government organizations, but not now. That's why it is mentioned as Sarkar Tumma. It is given by the government. Okay. So the reason is, once the people left from India, you know who governed India long time before. And when they left from India, they didn't want to leave from India. Finally, they left India and they wanted to destroy the India. They started their project a long time before, maybe 1940, 50, before, that time itself. But still, we don't have any history about this. We don't have any data on that. The reason is no one is aware about the things. But there were few government reports were there in 1967. This plant seeds were given to the people through our ration shops, through our what is means the ration shops. Usually we will be saying we are providing rice to the people now. Through the ration shops, the seeds were distributed to our local farmers and given a wrong information to them that this will be used to, when the rain is not there, you can grow this plant, and then you can use this plant for as a wood, and then you can sell for hotels and companies as a wood fuel. So people also believed, and then that time the local administration and government also believed on that foreign organizations, and then the seeds were imported very long very huge quantum, and then it is distributed on Indian lands without awareing that we are trapped on this Indian agriculture, and now we are getting that failure nowadays. I don't know, even now also we are not knowing this failure, this plant is affecting this much. Okay, so I have few informations because I have got one elsewhere publications recently, and then based on that I have got few information. This plant is a South and Central America based plant, and then it is genetically modified and then entered inside the India. We are believing that this plant can be killed easily. Do you feel it can be killed easily or destroyed easily? No, not at all. We cannot destroy the plant. Even if you cut by mechanically, if you cut on that, it will come from the plant. And then we are assuming that if you cut the plant, it will be gone. No, it will not leave. Even if you are using some other heavy manpower or machine power to remove the plant, then also the solution is not found, because a 1 centimeter root is enough to create a new plant within the 10 years. The root will be there inside the land at any time within the 10 years, whenever it is getting comfortability, and it will come as a new plant. And also one plant is enough to create minimum 1,000 plants. One plant is enough to create minimum 1,000 plants, and normal mechanical ways we cannot eliminate the plant. We have to find some other ways to remove the plant. See, the seeds remain viable up for 10 years. The seeds also will be somewhere in the sand, and it can wait up to 10 years, and up to 10 years it will not die. Within the 10 years, whenever it is getting a small quantum of water, it will start as a new plant. A mature plant can produce hundreds of thousands of seeds, but it can create a minimum 1,000 plants from a plant. The seeds are spread by cattle and other animals, which consume the seed pods and spread the seeds in their droppings. It is contributing anyway. These are some other sources are there. And another problem is, it is killing almost all our palm trees. You know that palm trees, which in Andhra and Telangana or entire India, we can find this type of trees. The natural food we are getting from these palm trees are very good. You know, the local names we will be telling in Nungu or the Panam Kalang, what it is, one yam variety which we are getting. This is the season now. Okay, this palm tree is a very good mechanism. If you see the mechanism of that palm tree is, a single tree will transport almost 20 liters of water to the top of the tree. You just imagine how much a very good mechanism is there inside on that. There is no pump is used, there is no motor is used inside the plant, but a single plant is taking more than 20 liters water to the top of the tree. Okay, so this tree, and also this trees cannot die in any of the climate conditions. Even a tough climate, even a tough summer, it can sustain and it will not die. But nowadays, this tree also started to dry. You can see on that, even in Warangal or even number of places, you can see on that this tree also getting affected because of that Juliflora plant. Because the Juliflora plant root were found almost 53 meters. A single plant root will be reaching up to 53 meters. You can remember 100 meters ground, running ground for a running race. So 53-meter depth means, you can imagine, because this report were found in Tucson, Arizona, US. A plant root was found 53 meters below. You cannot imagine. So it means that it is taking the water that much from the ground. And these palm trees roots were reaching up to 15 to 20 meters only. This is our natural plant in India. Its root is almost 15 to 20 meters, can go and take the water from all over the place. And it can survive with any harsh climatic conditions. But now, because of this Juliflora plant's root is reaching up to 53 meters, this plant is almost in a destroying state. Okay, it is always losing its water, and then a number of places you can find these palm trees are dying nowadays. Okay, this is a, if one can come to a conclusion on that, if a palm tree dies in a particular location, then that place is not fit for surveying for any human or any animal. Okay, if a palm tree is dying, then that place is not correct a place for surviving for any animals or human beings. Okay, now you can imagine how this plant is made and then how it is destroying India. See, these are the palm trees. There are some data were there. The roots store water. The natural water derived from flower is very tasty and healthy. You remember, na? This the fellow is taking one water. It is a very good drinking juice, which is taken from the palm tree. But nowadays, all those things are going to die. Its timber is used for construction work because even I remember in olden days, our homes were constructed by these timber trees. Okay, and also this nature of the Tumacheti, or the nature of the Julifera plant, having some sharp thorns, no, like a sharpened object, it will be hit our the human legs, the farmer's legs, and the pain of the pain of that sharp thorns is almost like a snake bitten pain, because one of the farmer told on that the pain is maybe he got already a snake bitten pain, and he is comparing these two pains are almost the same. The reason is it is a poisonous thorn. It is a poisonous thorn. If the thorn is hitting you, then you have to take some medicine. Okay, but people are not aware, and still we are living with this plant. It is having up to 5 centimeter long. It is very aggressive invader, and it can replace all the native vegetarian plants. Okay, why why this foreign country put this seed in India is they wanted to kill the entire agriculture, and also once a time India is a very big country for giving very natural herbals and very natural so it is killing almost all the plants. It's almost like a canopy. It is almost like a big umbrella, and the sunlight cannot enter inside, and then it will not allow any plant. So that's why it's then all the natural plants might be killed. And over 90% of the farmers in Eastern Sudan and Ethiopia is telling it is a devil tree. But there are some countries already aware about this plant, except India, because one of the students recently joined from Ethiopia for a PhD here with me, and he is telling that in the country the people are telling that tree is a devil tree. Devil tree. Devil means you know the meaning of the tree. So those countries are taking some steps to kill that plant in different way, but they are also not identifying the plant perfectly. But unfortunately, India till date none is taking any step on that. Government is not aware. Our industries are not aware. Institutions are not aware. In India, there are number of institutions heavily working on biotechnology, chemical engineering, biology, zoology, chemistry. Even I visited one of the institute recently. That institute, 10 years before I visited that time, they have a very good number of neem trees. But just 1 year before I visited the university, all the neem trees were destroyed because this tree were surrounding areas were totally occupied by this Juliflora tree. But they are not aware. That institute is a very big institute and having number of other departments, biotechnology, chemical and biology departments. That's why this is one of the reason Our education should be used to our society. What is the problem happened in the society, and then according to that we need to work on that. Unfortunately, still our system of education is not helping on that. We need to work for a lot, and I hope on that at least this awareness program. After this awareness program, some one of the institutes should start work on that. Anyway, we are mechanical engineers, but still we have to see how to find this opportunity to work on that. This is the paper I found on that. Beyond water intensive agriculture, expansion of Propolis juliflora and its growing economic use in Tamil Nadu. This work is done in Tamil Nadu with one tie-up with one university, Bharidasan University. This is a journal published in Elsewhere journal, Land Use Policy. The work is done by a foreign university. That is the reason. Why a foreign university have come and do the work in India to know the plant execution? Because that it is not one country. There are few countries are working for that destroying Indian agriculture system. And they developed this project very long time back, and now they wanted to know how the project is executed in India. That's why they wanted to do this research. And this research, they are mentioning that 34.9% of the total village land was occupied by this tree. You just see, whatever I told, the information is correct. The paddy field is almost destroyed almost 34.9% in 2002. And it is in 2009, it is 42.4. You see, we don't have any recent data. 2020, we don't have the data. It may be around 60% now. The 60% of the paddy field may be affected. And they're telling 72.4% of the agricultural land in village P. They are not mentioning the village name properly. That's there itself we can understand. These are a heavy conspiracy on this Indian agricultural system. It is made by few countries. They are mentioning the villages A, B, C, D like that. And they're telling in one of the villages in Madurai, was occupied only 72.4% of this Propolis plant in 2010. And here you see that almost 80% of the land was cultivated, and Propolis trees covered approximately 20% in 2000. 80% of the lands were initially for paddy field in 2000, and 20% for Propolis plant. That means that juliflora plant. In 2010, the Propolis covered 70% of the paddy field. You see on that? 70% of the paddy field, and then the crops were cultivated only 20%. This is the pathetic situation in India. Anyway, I am stopping the presentation now. So I have few data, but still I wanted to work on this particular area, but still I am also working on mechanical. I couldn't do much help on that. At least others can do on that. Okay then. So the organizers, it's 12:40 now. What you are planning? We can stop now.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, stop, sir.
Okay.
Dear participants, please unmute yourself and you can ask any queries. So Chandramohan sir is ready to give answers.
Chandramohan sir, good afternoon. It was a nice session. It was a lot of information we got it from regarding renewable energy and sustainable development. And last one, which you talk about juliflora plant. Okay, so along with that, one more plant, I think you might have noticed, that is Parthenium.
Parthenium, yeah, I heard this. I also heard this plant from one of my friend. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's like a juliflora plant. It is killing the fertility of the land. Okay, you can say gross level. Even Parthenium plant is also upper level. It is more poisonous than juliflora plant.
Yeah, that is more poisonous. Yeah. Even cattle is also getting affected. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Cattle also, even for in case even personal experience. We are also from agriculture background in Karnataka. So even my father has suffered. Okay, so when we go for autopsy, so since he was working in agriculture for the last around 30 years, he was very close to land and all, continuously working and all. So the skin, it has got deteriorated because of Parthenium contamination.
Okay. Okay.
So it has occupied complete body. So this is one of the just I wanted to
Complete
add
water
on.
bodies, huh?
No, complete body. You can skin. You can say whole body.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that much of poisonous. Okay, in case if we keep on contact with that Parthenium plant, okay, this is what happens for the human can say health issues
Yeah.
also.
No, the pathetic thing is no one is aware in these things. Institutions, organizations, government organizations, ministries, agricultural ministries. It's very poor on that. That's a pathetic things we have.
So actually,
So,
since our system is running like based on system laws and rules and regulations, okay, nobody don't want to take okay, can say personal care of agriculture. You might have seen at present what is happening in across related farm, I can say farm bill and all. So nobody, it has not discussed, even though like they have made a lot of discussion with respect to that, but nobody is having clear picture about that. That means
no.
awareness.
One thing. It's a foreign cultivated plant, and then foreign is involving. That how we are realizing is on that. Actually, I am on this Juliflora destroying organization. One is there in Tamil Nadu. I was also in the organizations, but one alarming thing I am noticing is on that we have almost 200 plus members on that. The people, those who are leading that organizations, are killed.
Okay.
But the killing was happened in a like accidental way or something. They are framing.
Okay.
So there is something is happening. That's and another one. When recently I talked with one of the HOD of the biotechnology department in one Tamil Nadu University, and they wanted to kill this plant by manually by cutting the plant, and mechanically they wanted to cut the plant, and like that they started the work. Then immediately one NGO is filing a case with the court.
Okay.
We don't know who is the NGO and who is behind on that. What is the NGO is doing for that India, and I don't know where they are getting fund. And also that professor is telling we are finally threatened to leave that trials.
Actually, this is actually professionally. This has a good link of those who are funding from the international to Indian NGOs and all.
That's why this present administration is cutting all those these NGOs. This is also one of the reason. There are number of ways the funds were used illegally and against the humanitarian. That's the thing.
Yes. That means at the and we don't Indians should like and economy should not grow. Okay, in terms of this particular sector, that is what they want. That is their major focus.
Major problem. Yeah. That's
yes,
all.
Sir.
Anyway, we can, at least these literate people, we please imagine and think about and then correlate. These are the factors. These are the traps we are getting on that from other sources, from other foreign countries. And then accordingly, we have to work on that. But that type of driving power is missing. That's why our education system need to little change on that. That's why my conclusion through that topic.
Yes, sir. You're right, sir. You're right. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody, any opinions?
Sir, I am Sabarinath from Madurai, sir.
Okay. You are working in that college, sir?
Sir, KLN College of Engineering, sir.
Tamil Nadu?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, tell sir.
Sir, regarding this, 2 days back, I read one article in Tamil newspaper.
Okay.
They have found a chemical medicine to destroy this Karuvela Maram. But how far it is true, I don't know. But I studied on articles, sir.
Okay, yeah, we need information because from the initial investigation conducted by myself and from one of the BTech students, identified that by all the mechanical ways or any other ways, we cannot kill the plant. By using some
sir,
chemicals.
once we cut, again it will grow, sir, like that.
Yeah, we cannot avoid. By using some chemicals only, it is possible. But I am feeling on that. The country, those who involved on that, they have the medicine. Because
yes, sir.
definitely, they know how to eliminate the plant. But that we need to find it through our education, which we are getting.
But I recently studied, sir, but I don't know what chemical name and all.
Yeah, we need
but
a very good work
studied,
on that.
Sir.
So we need funding on that first, and when we need to work at least 3 to 5 years, at least one group will have to work on that, and then we need to propose these are the ways it need to be destroyed.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, excellent presentation that solar updraft tower,
Okay.
can we use any other material other than sand and gravel, sir, in that place? In the
We can use, sir. Depends upon your
material.
finance capacity, your funding capacity, we can use. Because the natural sand and soil is not bad to store the energy. Because if you see the rho Cp value, comparatively some other materials, some other chemical materials, it's almost equivalent to equivalent value is there. The rho Cp density into specific heat is giving that much value. So for a experimental case or for running some initial case, we can use that one. That's not a bad one. We can use. But comparatively, the normal soil will not give that much storage. Sand, which is used for building, that is better.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Thank you.
Still any more questions? Any more questions?
Okay, sir. If any further questions, they can communicate me through mail, or sometimes we can interact.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation to give an expert talk on this sources and applications of green energy. So today we have a very quite informative session, and also it is a quantitative information session, sir, actually. So all the participants also given feedback on this topic also. So I am really happy on this. So once again, thank you, sir, for giving this chance.
Yeah, okay.
To give expert talk today.
Sir, I am Ramakrishna.
Thank you, sir. And I sent an email to you, sir.
Okay.
Chandramohan, sir, I sent an email to you.
Yeah.
So you please go through that, sir.
Yeah, I will do that. I will also thank the organizers, HOD
you,
Mechanical, for this RGM College of Engineering Technology, Nandyal, and also I thank Dr. Ramakrishna, who is my student.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Chandramohan, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. So I will be leaving the connection, huh?
Sir, you can leave, sir.
Okay, thank you.
So dear participants, this the morning session over. So in the afternoon session, we have the topic on biofuel production from algae. So Professor K. Arun Kumar, Department of Plant Science, School of Biological Science. So he is from Kerala, Central University. He is going to give an expert talk. So all of you join at 2 p.m. So thanks for joining.